Okay, special video today because I've got my daughter here to accompany me on this video. But what I wanted to do is a base review. So say hello to my daughter, Curly.
Hello, I'm another YouTuber as well.
Okay, so there's my daughter. Anyway, what I'm doing today, I'm going to do a base review on my air defense base. And the reason I'm doing it on this base is because I think it's well, I don't think it's the best base going around right now, but I think it's a really interesting style of base for a couple of reasons. So you'll notice, so first thing I'll say is this is not a war base. This is a cup base. Don't use this in wars because it's far too open a style. Doesn't have double bomb traps, doesn't have a centered CC, all sorts of reasons. Don't use this as a war base. But as a league base, it's actually performing okay. It's holding okay at about 3,400 cups, which is pretty good considering I'm not tweaking the base. Now, firstly, I'll just have I'll talk you through the bomb placement. So I've got a giant bomb here in this pocket. I've got two giant bombs down here, and I've got giant bombs here and here, and I'll explain why later. I've got red bombs all through here. And next to all of the ADs, I've got black bombs, and I think I've got two black bombs next to one of the air defenses. So that's, and I think I've got my small bombs just in front here. My spring traps I use to protect the lure, so I've got most of my spring traps around this cannon here and this cannon here, where people try and lure using hogs, and it just pops the hogs. Now, so that's the layout of the base. Now, let me explain this base. Firstly, I've got air defenses one side and lots of archer towers and stuff the other side. So why have I done that? Well, the first reason I've done that is because I've got red bombs here, and if any of the Lava Hounds pop, they won't trigger the red bombs. Red bombs are often triggered by Lava Hounds or the pups, and so effectively I get my 5 red bombs back by adopting this type of base style. Whereas if you a balanced base where you've got air defenses evenly spread around the town hall, you effectively lose your red bombs because every time a lava pops, it triggers all the red bombs and you basically lose them. So that's one reason why I've adopted this style, and effectively it's given me more splash damage defense. The second reason I've adopted this style is because it means I can move my air defenses out of whiz tower range, and that effectively gives me my whiz towers back. And whiz towers are one of the best ways of hurting balloons if they're bunched, and by having centered whiz towers, effectively I can put a lot of damage on the balloons. The lavas should circle around the top of the base, and their balloons will have to negotiate not just the air defenses but also the infernos and the whiz towers in the center. So effectively that gives me a lot more splash damage than a typical base style against loons. Some other things you'll notice is around, say, the inferno, I've got effectively hog rings. That means the loons will pass the path around the infernos. Same in the south, got Telsa here, bows, archer towers. So you can see I protect my infernos using hog rings. And the other thing I do with the whiz towers is the whiz tower, I've got lots of defense in front of them, so that way they can put a lot of splash damage on balloons before they actually go down. So the whiz tower here has got the bow there, really high hit point building. But you've got a Telsa, archer tower, Telsa, so heaps bomb, archer tower, Telsa here. So lots of opportunity for whiz tower to put on a lot of splash damage on those parts, on those parts of the base. So that's the sort of theory of the style. Now let's have a look at it work. This is a side-on hit. So they've hit a side, and have a look at what it does in terms of the balloon and lava routing. So 4 lavas, so really having quite a shot. And you can see that 2 black bombs here on some of the lavas and a black bomb here. So this will put a lot of damage on the lavas early, but you'll see in terms of dropping his balloons, he's dropped them around the side. Not that wide a drop, probably not good advice, but you'll notice here that the bottom balloons pretty quickly will be unprotected by the lavas, because the lava is going to route across the top, and that will expose all of these balloons to my splash damage and my infernos. So let's have a look at it run. So let's drop some minions behind. The lavas have popped quickly because they've run into a lot, or 2 of the lavas have popped quickly because they run into black bombs. Balloons coming through. And you can see here, now the balloons will start to path across here in front of the whiz tower. The lavas are going to route around the top, exposing all of these balloons to the whiz towers and the infernos. So these balloons now got an inferno, lost the splash damage, and there goes that bunch. Now it's getting splash damage, and there goes that bunch. And all the balloons are dead at 28%, and that's why this wins that defense. So really interesting style. I recommend experiment it. If you're going to use it for wall base, you need a very different wall structure and some differences in bombs. Just some other things I'll just touch on in the base. As this sort of finishes up, I'll touch on the bomb placement. So you notice I've got 2 bombs here. You'll notice golems will path from here to here, not trigger off the big bombs. So that's like one form of trap, is to route the golems around the bombs, leave bombs in the center, and that will actually suck in some wizards or put damage on your heroes, or so if they're going for the inferno. Up here is a jump defense. I've got 2 bombs here. Why have I put, say, a bomb here? Well, because a golem, if it hits here, will route through to the bow and then probably through to the other AD. So that hopefully will pull wizards and witches through to there. That will blow them up, but you've also got the splash damage behind it. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the theory of the base. And then let's just watch this win. Actually, the other thing I've done is I've put skeleton traps here. Now this is an interesting idea, and the open end of a Southern Teaser, so they'll often drop the heroes to grab some cheap hit points down here. But what happens is, as they come in, the skeleton traps get triggered. That pulls in the heroes into the bombs, but also pulls them in range of a lot more defense. So the heroes don't get as much free percent as they anticipate around the bottom of the base. So that's the base style. Let's just trigger through the end. So he drops his heroes to try and grab some percent. And this will actually demo the skeletons working. Making sure not giving up too much free percent so they can get to 50 is an important part of air defense. So here are the skeletons working. The king didn't even survive for that, but the skeletons triggered will now go and attack the queen, but the queen won't last, and that's a win. So not the best base in the world in terms of tracking percentage, but I think it's a really interesting style, and a style that people should play with to basically get back the value of your red bombs and your whiz towers. And to finish up, bye-bye from Kiralee on the video.
Bye!